Breaker-Leggers, and we're here at the Theatre Royal Haymarket to see William Shakespeare's Love's Labour's Lost.
Now, this production is in repertoire. The same company is doing Much Ado About Nothing.
They are indeed, and did you know that Much Ado About Nothing is also known as Love's Labour's Won? This production actually premiered in 2014 at the Royal Shakespeare Theatre. It then went to the Chichester Festival, where it was very well received, and now it's finally transferred into London town itself. So we're here to see it, and it's had great reviews, so I think we're both looking forward to finding out whether it lives up to the expectations. You know, Shakespeare can be a bit Marmite, but hopefully the production is interesting enough to, you know, for the layman and for the regular general theatre goer.
So stay tuned so you can find out how many legs it's got. So it's the interval of Love's Labour's Lost, la 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 la. And how are you finding it?
Yeah, it's excellent actually. The production's beautiful. The set's so sumptuous. It moves really well. It's pacey. It's wordy. But there's enough going on to kind of keep your attention. I don't feel lost in the plot, even though obviously it's in Elizabethan language, so which is often very difficult to understand. But yeah, so far so good. How about you?
I think it's really good. There's a good measure of Shakespeare is if you kind of understand what's going on. And the fact that I know what's going on means that they really do understand the text. You can tell by the way the text is delivered, how it jumps between its prose, its rhyming, its quick, witty lines, dancing between each of the characters. Beautifully timed, the pace of it is just right. Some really great characters. Some characters you can see just in the background. This guy is pretty awesome. And also the two main characters, they are absolutely holding their own.
I think a lot of it's down to the direction. Like with Shakespeare, you've got to have a director that knows that the audience a lot of the time, you know, are going to get confused. It's foreign to the ear, but he's definitely acknowledged that, and he's definitely working on enough in the pace and in the production to overcome those issues. So yeah, I'm pleasantly surprised so far.
Just stick around and we'll tell you how many legs this one's got.
Whether it's going to be a break a leg or a leg it.
Hello, you're with the Breaker-Leggers, and we have a cast member here,
John Hodgkinson.
Yeah, I'm John Hodgkinson.
Yeah, we saw John in Hangmen earlier on this year, which is fantastic, and now he's in Love's Labour's Lost here at the Haymarket. So how are you finding the show?
Oh, I love it. We've been doing it for a long time. We were doing it before we did Hangmen. We've been
2014.
Something like that. It must be. Yeah. So we have a lot of practice, and we just get better at it, and we all really love it. It's a beautiful show.
How are you finding working in kind of repertoire almost, a different show every night?
It's sort of a relief, really. You know, you think, oh, good. I've got to get a rest from the other one, and I get to do this one tonight. You know? So it keeps your spirits up.
Any challenges in it? How are you finding?
Well, Shakespeare's always a challenge.
Yeah,
it's a physical and mental challenge. Yeah.
It sounds great fun with the accent, playing with the accent and character in that.
Yeah, I know, really. Yeah, so I thought I'd sort of substitute any real character work for just an accent.
I did to say that the Breaker-Leggers have managed to grab Nick Haverson. What part are you playing?
I played Costard in this one.
In Love's Labour's Lost, he's Costard.
Yeah.
So how are you finding it?
Yeah,
I mean, pieces?
Yeah, doing two different shows. It's crazy, isn't it? But no, it's good fun. And you know, they're quite sort of different roles. So in that respect, you know, it's beautiful. You get two for the price of one.
Yeah.
So and the same for the actors. You know, we get to play two different parts, two different sort of characters, and have a giggle with both of them.
Yeah,
really.
nice to have a break, some break up. It can become quite monotonous, especially in the long run. If you're doing the same
exactly
thing
right.
night
I mean,
in,
this
night
is
out.
not too long, but nonetheless, you know, even when you do something for, I mean, in normal rep you do it for 6 weeks, and this is probably a lot longer than that. And even in 6 weeks, you go, oh, I'm ready for another one.
Yeah,
and this time, you know, you've suddenly got another part to play, and yeah, you don't get the monotony doesn't grab hold of you.
Absolutely.
You can enjoy it. Bit of a
Such
challenge every time. Brilliant.
Such a physical role as well,
Yeah.
this one. How are you finding the physicality of it?
Yeah, well, actually, that sort of thing I prefer, actually.
Yeah.
If somebody said to me, just be quiet and do physical stuff, I'd probably go, oh, what a great job. So, yeah, I really enjoy that. And I sort of usually look at doing that prior to sort of looking at the words. And sort of
Yeah.
think, oh, like, what can you do? Would you have a walk? Would you? You know, so that part of the job is the sort of very great importance to me. Yeah.
There's some really good detailed stuff
Is
going
there?
on with it. Yeah, it's really
Bless you
great.
for that.
I think you've got absolute free reign of the character and the
Yeah.
piece. There are no limits with it. which
No,
is
well, exactly right.
Great to watch.
Yeah, and I mean, you're allowed to be slightly anarchic, which is brilliant, you know, and you
Nice
can
release.
make things, yeah, exactly, and you can make things up, you know, in the spot that sort of gets, you know, get the audience going sometimes. And, yeah, no, it's
I've
brilliant
got to
fun.
say, Nick's performance was a pleasure to watch, and the piece is fantastic. So definitely come down here
Come
to the
down and
Haymarket.
see it.
Down.
So, how was Love's Labour's Lost, you may ask?
How indeed? What did you think?
I loved it. I think it's a fantastic show. The production really does make it. I think it'd be a great introduction to Shakespeare. Like if someone was, you know, on the fence, maybe you've studied Shakespeare at school and it's always felt a bit alienating. I think see it in a good production, see it with good surroundings, and you will probably get a lot from it.
I think what struck me about this one was just the diversity and the richness of Shakespeare. You kind of forget. You kind of think, oh, Romeo and Juliet, Macbeth, some of the heavier stuff. When actually he was a genius. He can do comedy, he can do wit, he's so sharp, and he can do like the romantic side. So the guy really is a genius, and this production really pulls out that cleverness of his works.
Yeah, got to say, big shout out to the music, the composition, and the placement of the music was all very beautiful, very poignant at the end, again drawing on the kind of First World War theme, and little touches throughout as well, which hinted on that, like poppies being the only flower that was used throughout the production. So kind of bringing that kind of threat and loomingness of the war to the forefront of the piece, and then at the end having a bit of a twist. But not going to give too much away, but would definitely say come down and see it for yourself, try it out, take a gamble on a Shakespeare. You know, if you've been toying with the idea for a while, why not this one?
So, the time is here. How many legs? Drum roll, please. 4 legs, we've decided.
4 legs for this show. As far as Shakespeare goes, it's one of the better ones I think we've seen, and we've seen quite a few in the past 12 months or so. So, 4 legs, recommendation.
Recommended
You're
from
not
us.
going to go far wrong.
Only 14 weeks though, so get your tickets bought and get along. Until next time, tell us what you think, share, like,
Subscribe.
comment below. All the best. Bye.
You're here with the Breaker
Hold on,
Leggers.
whoa. What are we seeing?
Love's Labour's Lost, it's right there.
Love's Labour's Lost. That's the one we're seeing.
Okay.
Here we go.
Challenge every time.
Do you mess up lines?
Do I mess up lines? All the time, lad. All the time. Yeah.
cover it really well.
Cover it with a bit of impro Shakespeare.
With the different parts throughout both pieces, so the piece is made up.
Character that you're playing, you can get away with
Yeah,
that.
I
You're
can get away
quite
with
a privileged
as you can hear, I
position
had a
in
bit of
that
a croaky
way.
throat tonight, and I thought, of all the people, the only person that could get away with sounding like The Exorcist is Costard. So it's kind of, so it works, you know. And the same with Dogberry. Dogberry's like slightly crazy, so.
Masquerade! Paper faces on parade! Masquerade!
La 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 la.